Today's class is going to be a vegan tzatziki. It's very simple, very easy. If you're looking for the recipe on YouTube, you're going to find it in the descriptions or the comment sections. For Instagram, you're going to go to the link in my bio. It's going to take you to, or the link in my bio, it's going to say Chill Bill's Recipes, or you can go to the broadcast channel. Let's get things rolling. So all you're going to need is a few ingredients. We have some non-dairy yogurt. This recipe will work fine with a regular style yogurt too. Just make sure you get a 5% fat. The higher fat, the better. It's going to be nice and solid. We have yogurt here. We have some dill. Use maybe about this much, so it's like a small cucumber's worth. A lemon, some garlic powder, and 2 amounts of salt. And then some other appliances, a grater, we got a strainer, and a peeler. So the very first thing you want to do to get things rolling is to take this cucumber and we're going to peel it. We need to peel and deseed it, right? If you're watching on Instagram, we do these classes every Thursday, and I'd like to do them on YouTube because you get to see all of these different camera angles. I have a camera up here, down here, and right there. So you get to see so much more than just this vertical shot. So if you're looking to get there, links in my bio too. It's gonna be CCC live streams. Once you get the cucumber cut, we want to peel off the outside. And if you're writing anything on Instagram, I'm sorry, I can't see anything. I can only see YouTube right now. Slice this in half. You're going to open up all of these seeds, right? Cut it in half one more time. This cucumber's from the garden next door. It's very thin, like the edge is very, it's very thin here, so I might have to use the whole cucumber on this one. But the reason why we're taking the seeds out is because they're very hard to digest. They're insoluble, so when they go through your body, all they're doing is getting thrown around and maybe scraping things in your colon or getting stuck. If you have diverticulitis, you know what I'm talking about. And you don't want to have any seeds or insoluble fiber in large amounts, right? So now at this point, we're going to take our grater, and the trick that we do is we'll take a container, like any kind of pan, put it below the grater, like a bowl, and grate on top of it. This is going to prevent any leakage or your cutting board getting really messed up. So, for the sake of time, I'm not going to grate a whole cucumber. You're going to get the idea. And you can use the large grater setting. No big deal. For those who are tuning in on YouTube for the first time, make sure to follow our channel, please. And if you hit the bell, you'll be notified when we go live for a cooking class next time. But every Thursday, we like to do cooking classes so we can kind of share something new that we know. Because every time you learn a little something, you can fold it into your daily routine. You don't have to learn a full meal because it's a lot. I like to show things in chunks because I feel like you can digest those easier. And for those who order takeout all the time, this sauce would pair well with most things, especially like kebabs, steaks. Very, very, very good. And obviously if you're going vegan, you can do like a roasted cauliflower, mushrooms. It would be really good on mushrooms. So don't think that you have to make everything in a full bunch. You can learn bit by bit. So once this is grated, you're going to take a bowl, you're going to transfer it to a bowl. That's why we probably should have grated it into a bowl, but not a big deal. I'm doing the dishes today, so not a big deal. And we're going to add, I believe it's a half teaspoon of salt or a quarter teaspoon of salt. Just enough salt to kind of mix it up. And what this is going to do is draw up the moisture that's inside the cucumbers and release it. If we were to add this straight to our yogurt without doing this, as it's sat, it would get extremely watery. We do not want that. So you let this sit 10 minutes overnight. This right here, we salted last night before we went to bed. So it's really, really juicy. And we're going to throw in our strainer to get out all of the liquid as much as possible. If you have any questions on YouTube, drop them in the chat and I'll be happy to answer. Thank you, Jennifer. Camera angles and audio sound great. Smiley face, cucumber. So we're just going to push this through as much as we possibly can. I'm probably going to use my hands just because I feel like I always get more out that way. If you have like a tea towel, you can put this in a tea towel and like wring it to where it all comes out and down and puts a lot of pressure on the cucumber. All right, so this is step one. This is the biggest step. So if you are making any kind of tzatziki, any yogurt that you use, the more liquid you can get out of the cucumber, the better, because it's going to give you a better consistency, a creamier, more full body consistency when you're done. Right? So that's that. Here we go. And you can use this to drink because it's like it has electrolytes in it. Maybe add some juice to it because it's pretty salty. But yeah, lemon with a little bit more water, that'd be delicious. Okay. So we have here some yogurt. I have so many bowls. Have some yogurt. This is coconut yogurt. If you do not have coconut yogurt and you're still trying to make it vegan, there are a lot of alternatives out there on the market. There's almond, cashew, any kind of nut you could probably turn into a yogurt. Soy yogurt, so many. This is about a cup. We're gonna add that to the bowl. We're gonna add our cucumbers in here as well. And then I'm just gonna mix them up a little bit. We're gonna add in our garlic powder. I like garlic powder because it's easier for me to digest. It's gone through the process of drying, so therefore the enzymes in there aren't as active as they would be if they were raw. And I feel like you can have garlic powder around it's more available. So it's easier to have. And I feel like most people have it in their kitchens. Everyone else's garlic is usually turning bad that's fresh. Now we have a little bit of salt. Do it to taste. I believe it might be a quarter teaspoon, but I usually always go to taste anyway. And we're just mixing it together. You can use a whisk, you can use a spatula. Spatula's gonna probably be your best friend because the cucumbers are gonna get knocked around a lot and get stuck in the whisk. Now, we're gonna take this dill we have here, chop it up. Now, when you're chopping dill, you can pretty much use the whole entire plant as long as the portion towards the end, the stem, isn't too fibrous. So if you have it, make sure to wash it really well and get rid of all of the sand, because there is a lot of sand in dill. It likes to collect it. And what we're going to do, if you're on YouTube, you're going to have a really good shot here. You're going to basically roll it up nice and loosely, but taut. Take your knife and just slice it, almost like you're slicing nothing at all. And what's going to happen is it's going to make your dill really, really small, to where you don't have to go over it with your knife too many times. The more and more you chop herbs, the wetter they get, especially if you have a dull knife. And with a dull knife comes wet herbs, and with wet herbs comes really weird flavors. Chlorophyll crushed just tastes different when it's not sliced with a very sharp knife. You're going to have to trust me on that one. So I'll go over it one more time, and then we're ready to go. Add this to your bowl. And the last thing we want to add is going to be some extra onion flavor. So a good allium to add that's really easy on your stomach, that is easier on most, are scallions. They're young, they're not extremely hard, they're not too fibrous, they're just easier to digest. So I'm going to take about, let's say, about half of this scallion, and we're just going to do rings out of it. You might almost consider this sauce like a sour cream dip without all of the preservatives. So again, if this is your first time here, make sure to follow me. I'll do these classes more often. For those of you on Instagram, if you're still here, thank you for joining in. You can check us out on YouTube if you want to check us out for more camera angles and to get a better picture. Right now, I'll show you when I'm done too. We have a side shot, overhead, and me talking to you. The experience is just extremely better. But I do appreciate everyone coming in, checking things out. And if you're making this at home for the first time, feel free to message me on any of the platforms. I'll be happy to answer any questions you have. So we're going to add this to the bowl. And we're going to mix it up, right? So I know you guys can't see it over there, but just going to mix it up till it's combined and give it a taste. If you like black pepper, you can add it in this as well. I would stay away from it. Oh crap, we forgot the lemon. One more ingredient. If you like black pepper, you can add that too. It's not necessary. I think it actually takes away from the dish. So the very last thing we're going to add is a lemon. If you can handle the outside of a lemon, feel free to zest a little lemon zest in there. And if not, just add some juice. We're going to add up to a half lemon. You have to take this one by taste. And next week's recipe that we're going to be making is a shrimp salad. So if you're interested in that, we're going to start off by teaching you how to cook shrimp. We're going to poach them, and we'll discuss steaming them as well. And we'll also make the sauce that turns it into a shrimp salad the following days. So if you want to learn that, make sure to hit the bell on either YouTube or Instagram to be notified when we go live. Every time I go live on either platform, we will be cooking something. All right. This is very good. I honestly can't even tell that there's no dairy in it. This coconut yogurt that we're using is called Coco June, I believe. It's plain, make sure you get plain, and it's very flavorful. It allows the coconut to really be the vessel and allow everything else to kind of carry with it. So that's delicious. If you learned something new, let me know in the chat too, in the comments below when you're watching this later. And if you let's see what else we got to say. If anyone has any questions, drop them in the chat for YouTube and Instagram now. There should be a question tab. But I got to get going, so I do appreciate everyone who tuned in. I'm going to give you guys a look at this angle shot over here, though. This is what we're working with. You get to see the side, me, and the top. So make sure to tune in next time. Let's see. It's very hard to do this at one time. So I'm gonna end Instagram.